What is up, guys? It's Die Hard here. I just gave an elaborate intro, and unfortunately, why does it keep on your screen? Give me 1 second here. All right. Give me 1 second. We'll have this going for you live here. On your screen, you're seeing a still image of WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64. So let's see here. All right, here we go. We got it live. And so on this podcast, guys, I think we're going to do survival. And I'm just waiting. I'm trying to get our team members in here. And give me 1 second here. For some odd reason, there we go.
That's a...
Well, welcome to the stream, Mr. X. Yeah, I can hear you.
Ooh, hold on.
Can you hear me all right? Oh. Did we lose? I think I might have lost Twisted, guys. That's all right though. We're gonna kick this off. Let's see. I'm gonna update this. No Mercy. We're going to update it so that we're playing WWF No Mercy. And, alright. Twisted will be back with us in just a few moments. It looks so weird seeing this in high definition. Let's go to WrestleMania. Okay? You guys get to see the, my Die Hard. Okay? Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Am I in the wrong Project 64? I must be in the wrong Project 64 because I have two of them. One of them, of course, has network functions and the other does not. So we'll be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay? And again, I'm gonna gauge out some live questions from you guys as well during this stream. Let me see my mouse. Oh, there we go. It's weird on such a small screen here. I want Bubba Ray Dudley. That's what I want. I want Bubba. Alright. We're going to pause it real quick, though, because I got to restart the call with Twisted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Die Hard.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, that would be why. That would be why you couldn't hear me, because I had it on the wrong microphone input. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. That was my bad. Guys, we're already started on the podcast. That was my bad. A little bit of technical difficulty on part of me. When you have more than one microphone input, you sometimes accidentally have the wrong input selected, unfortunately.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying. Jesus Louises.
So is Devin not going to join us? No one else?
Yeah, I'm assuming tonight it's just going to be myself and Twid.
Nice.
And I definitely have, like, I'm actually playing on an emulator right now. Like, I'm playing No Mercy. It's a little laggy, though, unfortunately.
Probably because you're streaming whilst you're doing it.
There's a good probability of that really happening.
Yep.
That would be really, this would be really laggy if we were doing the network play.
That would 100% lag.
It'd be 110% laggy. But anyways, let's kick this podcast off, shall we? If this game will let me reverse something here. Anyways, so last week we got DDoSed. And it was awesome. I loved being DDoSed. It was the greatest feeling ever because I've been DDoSed almost every single stream that it is every stream that I've done over the past 2 years. I don't think there's no almost about it. And so just to forewarn anybody who comes on this stream tonight, I am running an IP logger on the chat. So if I do get DDoSed, the last IP address that hooks up to me will be the channel that, or the person that I'd probably go after. And as you can tell, if you're watching this stream, I'm getting my ass whooped right now, but I blame the game. I blame my computer for not apparently being able to handle it today. I can't even remember the controls now. I can't even. I'm horrible. But all right.
What emulator are you playing on?
I'm on Project 64. It's just, it's going really, really slow today. And I don't remember the controls I set up for this controller. Like, I went through a couple of different variations trying to get a good kind of, you know, setup. Like, I'm using my PS4 controller right now, and I'm distracted. But I guess I'll just break the ice now because it's easier to just do it early in the podcast, get it all out of the way. But Calvin Carter has...
You gone, homeboy?
Yeah, more or less. He right now. Those of you that don't know, some of the guys in FFW and PWA have signed contracts, like physical binding contracts that say they will only compete in one place, unless they have permission to do so elsewhere. And unfortunately, for Calvin Carter, he was offered an appearance on a pre-show, from what we were told, and unfortunately, I'm not giving him permission to perform there. And
like, it's not even just Calvin Carter's problem. Like, it is his problem, but if half of the community went dicks, maybe we could, just maybe we could work something out. But you're not gonna get that chance, so.
Exactly, and unfortunately for Mr. Calvin Carter, the repercussions are this: he can either, you know, go with the flow and just suck it up and not perform at this house show, or he can go ahead and do it and breach his contract, which is a legally binding contract. He, you know, I could elect to sue him if I wanted to,
and it could possibly get that other show
in some trouble.
Flagged.
Yes.
So, do you really want that to happen? Or... You know?
And that's the thing. So, at this juncture, I have Calvin Carter under contract until February 24th of 2016. Until that day, he is contracted to TPP2K, and at that juncture, we won't be extending his contract. However, his matches for the February match cards, which they were written, are already done for FFW. Like, they were done a couple of weeks ago, so those matches will still be shown because he currently is a champion. And we will acknowledge him being a champion. I'm not just going to completely Chris Benoit him because I'm not that type of person. But I can say this. You will have a fitting exit, Mr. Calvin Carter.
Why is it that everyone that becomes a champion tries to fuck us off?
That's what I'm saying. What is it about people when they become a champ? And here's the thing. You know, I had, and this is kind of like my personal grievance, I had this chit chat with Calvin Carter prior to this happening. Like, when we were talking about the contract, I told him, I was like, hey man, don't try to double cross me. Don't do it. It would not be wise to do that. And it's exactly what he's doing. And people can try to spin it how they want, but those contracts that people sign, either there's monetary gain in it for them, or there's, in the case of Calvin Carter, Xbox cards. You know, and so I'm sorry, but if you sign a contract, you need to adhere to the terms of that contract. It's like Matt Hardy here getting pummeled by Stone Cold, by the way. It's like Matt Hardy being contracted to TNA, but then appearing in WWE. It just isn't gonna happen. Like, and that's what bothers me. So many people in the COD community say they want to be taken serious, right? Or they speak like they want to be taken serious. Well, if you want to be taken serious, then you need to act serious. You need to act professional when you do shit, not just try to do some underhanded shit. And that is, it's not even me taking a jab at NAH, because I don't give a fuck who it was that asked him. I don't care if it was Frisco or Define or whoever. That shit's just, you guys sat there and talked shit about my shows, and then you asked to be on your pre-show?
And not only that, but like, and I'm not even going to get into Frisco and Define, because I've been done that. I've said all that. I don't need to continue with that. They're a waste of time. I'm not even going to bother. But in the case of Calvin Carter, Calvin, what did you expect? I already know you don't like me, so you're already going to be like, shut up, Twisted. Shut up, Twisted. I didn't know what you were going to be like, but what did you expect? The whole, how you handled the situation when Die Hard was telling you couldn't do it. You handled it in a terrible way, so of course it was going to get worse for you. What did you expect?
That is
You
true.
can't just blame people for shit like that, dude. You were trying to be cocky and trying to play Die Hard like you were someone special. No, dude. This is his show. If he doesn't want you on this show, he can do what the fuck he wants, whether it's your call or not. Once you've signed a contract, you are legit contracted to do this. So, it's your fault.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, you were like, the way that the contracts are written are that everybody's guaranteed at least 2 appearances every month, or 2 segments, whether it's a voiceover, match, whatever. So he fulfilled his contract agreement, yes, but he also breached it. He says he didn't agree to do the match, but the screenshot he sent me kind of said otherwise.
Yeah, it shows that you did.
Yeah, he clearly said that he wanted to do the match earlier today, and so when I let him know that, hey, you know, you can't do anything like that. I mean, yes, I gave him permission to stay in CTO. Great, cool, whatever, you know, because I know he was in there before he came to FFW. I was cool with that. But anything beyond that, and it specifically says it in the contract, you are not to appear in other places without the express permission of TPP2K. And guess what? FFW is TPP2K. PWA is TPP2K. Die Hard is TPP2K.
Unfortunately, we have to do this because of people fucking us over. And if we're gonna give you something for being on this, then we're gonna have to, you know, make sure that we can cover our own asses if you fuck up, which in this case you did.
You know, and that's the thing. Like when Calvin was signing his contract, he asked, well, you know, he asked a couple of questions about the contract, and I told him, read it over, understand what you're signing. So if he didn't read that contract, that is completely on you, man. You never sign a contract without
reading it. That's dumb.
That's like, I could have said, hey, you have to give me 3 pints of blood and, you know, your kidneys. Luckily I didn't, but it could have been the case. And fortunately, because you signed it, you would have been like, yeah, that's unfortunately what I have to do. But because I'm a nice guy, I don't ask for blood. I just say, hey, you know, just adhere to the terms of the contract that say you're not going to appear in other places without permission. And he did come into the FFW chat and he did ask. Like he's like, well, can I do it? And I flat out said no. And
at least he asked.
Yeah. I give him credit for asking, but when
that doesn't mean you're gonna get your way.
Exactly. And although he asked, I kind of already knew when he was asking what the end result was gonna be. Especially once I seen the screenshot. And if anybody.
You asked at the worst time too. It wasn't even like you asked at a good time.
Exactly.
You asked at the worst time possible.
Yeah, you asked while the servers were being complete dicks to me and Twisted. Like the worst time you could have possibly asked. If there was any other time where I would have been in a bad mood, that time was the worst time for you to ask. Because I just was not in a good mood. Like it's just today was not a good day for WWE, the double E. It was not a good day.
Not a good day on server.
Exactly, not a good day on server. And you felt that it was a great time to ask that. Look at that, Stone Cold doing the twist of fate, and the game coming to the ring here. I don't know if it's lagging on the stream or not, and my XSplit isn't really updating, so I'm not 100% sure if it's. Now it switched me to somebody else. Damn it! I don't even remember which one switches. There it is. Okay. Look at that. Boom! Pin Matt Hardy. Don't break it up, Triple H. God damn it.
One of the worst things as well was like then you not only did you fuck up, but then you went and was like, hey, guess what? You take this far too serious. Dude, you fucking roleplay.
Yeah, you did
Don't say anything about taking anything serious when you fucking roleplay.
That is true. Like, and the thing is, do I take it serious? When there's money involved and things of that nature, hell yes, I'm going to take it serious. I'm sorry, but that's just the way life is. If it's something important like that, and I hate to say this, but in this cutthroat community that we have, I'm sorry, but people have to be contracted because goddamn, everybody just wants to appear fucking everywhere. Everybody, like, nobody has any loyalty to any shows. Everybody wants to be symphomous. I made that word up earlier, so that's copyright TPP2K, by the way. Anybody uses that, I will sue the shit out of you. That's symphomous. Because everybody wants to be it, except for some people. I mean, some people are popular for the wrong reasons or misunderstood reasons, but then there's people that want to be popular by any means necessary. And I'm sorry, Calvin, but you're one of those people that wants to get popular by any means necessary. And I get that.
You're not the only person that wants to do that, though.
Exactly. You're not the only person in general. You're not the only person that we know that wants to do that. I could name 4 people just without thinking, but I won't say names because they're friends. Like, they're legitimate friends, but...
What are you thinking about?
Exactly, but at the end of the day, I already know what their motive is. A good example, I had a couple of tryouts for PWA late last week, and these were 2 young bucks, okay? They were both, I think, one was 12 and one was 13. 2 of the youngest guys I'd ever tried out. I usually didn't try out people that young. And I was like, you know what, I'll give them a tryout. You want to know what they wanted to be? I asked them, why do you want to be on a car show on YouTube? Because I want to be famous. That is exactly what... At least they didn't lie about it.
I want to make it in a community.
Exactly, and they basically said they wanted to be like Nick Virtue. No offense, Nick, but you have ruined the little kids of the future. You have ruined them because now they all think that they want to be you or they want to be famous or recognized in the community. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be recognized, but there's so many ways you can go about being recognized.
And you can do it in such better ways.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not saying better ways than wanting to be Nick, but like you can go about it in better ways.
Exactly. I mean, people have a misconstrued idea of what is sim or what isn't sim and things like that. And ideally, simulation isn't just a bunch of spots in a match. You know, it's putting together something that is entertaining for the end viewer, the end user, you know, the person that's going to sit there and watch this match or this video. Now, some people...
That doesn't mean that spots aren't entertaining.
Right. There's some spots that are really, really entertaining, but every match doesn't have to be a huge, you know, spot fest. You can have really good matches.
Yeah, Rebel.
You can have really good... Ooh, Stone Cold with a low blow. You can have a really good match that has a basic beginning, middle, and end. It's very doable, very common. You know, if you look at programming on wrestling TV now, okay, if you look at WWE now or TNA or even ROH, they don't all have insane spots every, you know, 4.5 seconds. Sometimes you just have that good old-fashioned point A to point B in a matchup. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine because that's how wrestling used to be back in the day. It was, you started... Back in my day! You used to start, and then you were done. You know, that's what it was. And then Hulk Hogan made the leg drop and ruined the business. He didn't really make the leg drop, but he used it as a finisher. He used a basic leg drop as a finisher.
Yeah, Rebel. Why are you going to do that, man?
Yeah, Rebel.
You scrub.
And if anybody saw the tweet that I put out about Draven, that was confused what it was about. It was just me bored on Twitter. I was having some fun. I was like, you know what? Draven strikes me as a guy that would drink a lot. And so Draven was arrested for public intoxication. Very fitting, in my opinion. Yeah, we would have Rebel on this podcast with us, but he said he's got some stuff going on right now, so he wasn't able to join us tonight. So hopefully, maybe he can join us next week. And the only reason we didn't do it on Wednesday night was because I was super tired. Otherwise, I would have done this on Wednesday, but then I wouldn't have got to hear the story about Calvin Carter. And I'm not saying that Calvin Carter's a bad guy. He's all right. He's not a bad kid. Just I think that he's being blinded by this opportunity at internet popularity within a cause show. And again, nothing against NAH. You know, you guys want to try to showcase some Xbox talent on your pre-show. That's great and dandy. But there's millions of other players you guys could contact, thousands at least hundreds of other people you could have contacted, and you just had to contact the guy that's contracted on my show. You couldn't contact, like, I don't know, Test or The Godfather or Bull Buchanan or Stone Cold Steve Austin. It had to be Calvin Carter. It just had to be him. It couldn't have been Hardcore Holly. You know, it couldn't have been any of those guys. It had to be Calvin Carter.
I mean, shit, like, think about it. Think many people on Xbox. There's tons of people that would like a chance on a sim show. I know one that wants to be a chance on a sim show because he tells me he wants to be in PWA, but he can't get a PlayStation. I know two, at least, that would all be good in a show. But for whatever reason, you decide to pick that one person that's already been, like, why can't leagues find new talent anymore? Why do they have to go and use the same people?
You know, and that's something that bothers me too. Like, I get it. You want to try to have maybe somebody that's got a little bit of an establishment behind them or something, but here's my question to whoever messaged him about it or sparked up the interest. How is it that you guys say, I think it was you, Define, you said, I don't watch shit shows, right? I think that's what Define said.
I don't watch now.
And, you know, if you don't watch shit shows...
Which, by the way, if anyone was paying attention to what I just said, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to that.
Exactly. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if my shows are so shitty, then why the hell did you find Calvin Carter interesting?
Because he's a streamer, and he's the best on your show. That's why.
I can definitely argue that one.
I think anybody could, really.
And I say this with true faith in what I'm saying. Normally, sometimes I think, oh, am I going to regret saying that? But I'm sorry, Calvin. I mean, you're good when somebody is carrying you in a match. When somebody's guiding you on what to do. You do great. And that's the thing. Like, people are going to see that on the upcoming episode. Or, yeah, on episode, I think it is 7 or maybe 8 of Genesis. I did not partake in any of Calvin's matches this month. So, whatever botches happened in his match, those are on him. And the pacing of his match was entirely on him. Because who he was working with is somebody that, like, don't get me wrong. The guy he was working with is relatively decent in matches, but those matches could have been a lot better. And they should have been. And it's one of those things. It happens. I mean, you can't have a perfect match every single time, Joshua Phoenix. You know, it happens in real life.
Hey, he's gonna get upset about that for the next week and ask everyone if he can have a perfect match. You don't realize what you just started.
I know, right? I done broke his heart. I have 4 eliminations in this. I'm already almost 15 minutes into this thing. I only have 4 eliminations. I'm doing horrible. Here. The computer's eliminated more people than I have.
Yeah, Rebel, you job out.
Oh, I just punched the Godfather over the top rope. Yeah, there's big fuck you from Stone Cold to the Goodfather. The Goodfather. Remember that gimmick? The Goodfather. Oh, the Big Boss Man. Dun 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 dun.
My sound won't work on my emulator. Gosh darn it.
Oh, gosh darn it. I got mine turned off because I don't want to get copyright strikes.
Well, I'm not the one streaming, so... Speaking of copyright strikes, the house match... No, joking.
The house match was... Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Is the stream lagging? Graphics, is the stream lagging? If the stream is lagging for you, press 1 and then put it in the chat. Which I know you guys are on a delay anyway, so it's going to be 30 seconds before I see it. If it's lagging, it might be...
Anyone ask any questions this week?
We still have... Well, you saw some of the questions that we had. And I'm debating if I want to get to those questions or not. Because, guys, whoever submitted those questions, you're a fucking moron. I'm saying, like, don't get me wrong. I get it. Banter, poke a little bit of fun. But you guys are kind of beat. Oh, it is. Okay, so Sassy Pants 426.
Shout out to Sassy Pants.
Sassy Pants 426.
You're a sassy pants.
Sassy Pants 426.
Rebel's a sassy.
We already know who it is. We already know. All right, so well, maybe it's just your laggy ass phone or your laggy ass laptop.
I don't think it actually is him. I think it's just coincidence. But now one Rebel is a sassy pants.
Exactly, Mr. Sassy Pants Rebel. Oh my
Sassy.
God, Stone Cold's neck is broke. I'm laying in the ring holding my head.
Rebel, your neck's broke. I'm joking.
Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump out of this.
Oh,
Yep, I'm gonna jump out of that match. I got a game over after 5 eliminations. Let's see how much money I made.
Over.
Game over. Oh, it didn't. It doesn't give you money if you quit. Oh, dude, that's some bullshit. That is some bullshit.
It's not like hardcore matches on COD.
Oh, dude, I forgot you could do like tag team Iron Man matches in here. Oh my God. And triple threat Iron Mans. Oh my God, that's what we're gonna do, guys. We are gonna watch the computer versus the computer at WrestleMania in a hardcore rules 60 or we'll do 30 minutes. 30-minute Iron Man match. No rope break, no disqualification, pin and submission, and knocking them the fuck out. It's your laggy ass network. Okay, yeah, we know that's Rebel. We know that.
No, because Rebel usually knows it sucks.
Exactly. So we're gonna have Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and Y2J in a triple threat 30-minute Iron Man match. And while that goes on, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Name That Question. Oh,
Name that jumper.
Oh, I can't have the Cripplers video playing, dude. They'll ban my shit. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have to edit it and trim out just that little bit. Totally forgot about that.
Why the fuck is this not?
Oh, and we might have another guest joining us. Looks like Devin may join us. Maybe.
Devin, get in here, you scrub, if you're watching.
He sent me a text message. All right, so we're gonna open up the Ask FM app on my phone. So if you want to submit your questions, submit them to AskFM or ask.fm forward.
Dude, Skype's taking up all of my sound right now. I don't know why. I'm not complaining.
Exactly. But yeah, so it's ask.fm /TPP2K. You could submit the stupidest questions in the world and I will answer them. That's what we're going to do today.
To be fair, we get stupid questions anyway. Go die! Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to...
The person that said that told us to go die was the same person that goes on Twitter and says, "How can you tell someone to go die?"
Exactly, right? Okay, so we'll go with one of the oldest questions.
Sorry, Lee Young, he's ass kicked.
Exactly. It says, okay, what is it that PWA offers that no other car show does? And I think that this is a very fitting question. What do me and Twisted think that PWA offers that no other car show offers? Besides amazing graphics, obviously. I think, in my opinion, that PWA offers people on the PS4. Because on the Xbox, it's not nearly as saturated because there aren't...
I hate to be cheesy, but PWA offers a chance. No other league will give new people a chance.
That is
true. They go for starters. Holy shit, Lee Long just fucked me up.
But yeah, so PWA, in a nutshell, guys, it offers a chance for people. I mean, we just recently brought somebody new on board, and this guy...
He's one of the most chillest people, too.
Exactly. This guy is super cool, and he's going to be a really good fit. And, okay, Devin is home, it looks like, so we're going to... I know my podcast screen froze, guys. It's because I'm going to add Devin to this call. Let's see. I gotta remember what I have stored.
Oh, Jin. God damn it. Jin in Tekken 3 is quite good.
Exactly. Jin's amazing.
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic. There we go. Alright. Oh, did we lose? Let's see. Did I lose everybody? You still there, Twisted? Oh, did I lose somebody? I tell ya, we're having some Skype issues today, guys. Alright. Anyway, so while that's going, hopefully it brings them into the call. Um, but yes, PWA definitely offers a chance for people to get seen, or people that may not have a lot of experience with doing the car show thing. We offer them that option to be able to do that. So, yeah, PWA is definitely the place to go on PS4 if you want a chance to do something. I think it's pretty important. What is up? My Skype is, I don't know if my Skype froze or what's going on here. There we go. Okay.
Hello?
Alright. I don't know, for some odd reason it wasn't.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Si, senor?
Si, senor. Can you hear me?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say you can't hear me?
My entire Skype just crashed. I got like an error code and everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if there's maybe like a update happening or something. But yeah, so
I don't know, that will fuck up.
PWA offers an opportunity for those that may not get opportunities.
Which people are gonna say bullshit because you fucked over blah blah, but you fucked himself.
Exactly.
You didn't have to fuck him over. He fucked himself.
He done gone fucked himself. All right. Next, a very stupid question, because obviously this is a troll or somebody that's on this show. What is your opinion of Pure? My opinion is pure shit. Next question. Do you like nah? Nah. Next question. You screwed Big Bronson. Big Bronson screwed Big Bronson. I have no sympathy for Big Bronson.
No. Let me go through the question myself, because people are gonna think your opinion is mine. I don't really care for Pure. Pure can do what Pure wants to do. I don't really care for it. I'm staying away from that, because if I was to say an opinion that people didn't agree with, it will start World War IV, and I'm down for World War IV, but I just can't be bothered right now. So I'm just gonna say Pure's doing their own little thing, and cool. Because no matter, the thing with me is, if Pure does good, then I'll want it good.
There's nothing.
Don't get me wrong, there is competitiveness there, but it's not even like in a nasty way. It's just like, oh shit, they're doing good. Shit, now I want to do good. It's like that. If Gnar does good, I want to one up Gnar. If fucking WCW did good, I'd one up them 10 times more just because of their shit. I do think WCW shit, and I do think that Gnar is on its way out. I don't really care for Pure though. That's just me.
Exactly. I mean, so maybe it was a little harsh of me to say pure shit. That's not exactly how I feel, but you know, I'm just saying it's fun for everybody else to criticize. So why not join in on the bandwagon?
As for Gnar, I don't like Gnar. I did at one point. It was fun to watch. Everyone was having fun in it, but I'm gonna be real. The owners are two-faced, so I don't want anything to do with that. They can do their own little thing. I don't need that. Exactly. Do yourself. Do you? You can go and enjoy Gnar and say it's not dying, even though it is, because let me put something up that Nacho said. Nacho said that, well, we just got 1K views on TIT. Well, great. Guess what? The entire community promoted that. You didn't have the entire community promoting Gnar originally in the first couple of episodes, and you got more views than that. So if you could get more views than that at one point, and now the entire community is helping you, and you still can't break that original view count, you're dying. You're losing viewers. So that means you're dying. It's really that simple. There's no way to hide it or go about it. It's just that simple. And I'm not saying it's not, if Gnar really wanted to, they could go for years. They could keep it stable with the amount of views they've got. They still have a lot of viewers, but they don't have as much views as they once had.
I agree with that.
That's just to me. I think one of their highest views is like 1,500 or something.
Right.
Well, if you've been around for a year and your highest view is 1,500, I'd be trying to break 2,000. I wouldn't be settling with 1,000. That's just not what I would do. So, and you can say that PWA is dying, but the problem is PWA is not dying. PWA is growing. Gnar's been around for a year. PWA has been around for about a month.
Yeah, a little. Like honestly, guys, PWA was conceived December, what was it, 12th or 17th? So just a
No,
couple.
it was right before Christmas Eve.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because I had made the YouTube channel, I think, on December 17th. So it was like a week before Christmas, literally a week. And we busted out a large portion of the material that we needed within those first couple of days.
And as for what people are saying, because they've seen Die Hard posts at PWA links in communities on PlayStation, that's not called dying or desperate for help. That's called promotion.
Yeah, that's called promoting. And oh, thank you by the way for banning me, Pullmans, from that one community.
Did he really?
Yeah, he kicked me out of the community he was the head of or whatever. That's super cool.
Probably because you're not 12.
Exactly. That was super cool of you, Pullmans. You keep being you, man. It's not
wait,
cool.
no, wait. I can't say that, because if I say that, I'm obsessed with him.
Exactly. Well, we're going to move on to the next dumb question, which we actually just answered this, but did your show die? We just answered that. No, it did not.
The show hasn't died, but we took a few days, I want to say like a week, to recharge ourselves.
Exactly, and we did some damage control, and believe it or not, we're actually on the tail end of releasing all of next month's material already, so you guys should be ready for that. And
yeah,
I'm talking...
we took a week to breathe. That was it.
Exactly, we took a week to breathe, to kill some people in Call of Duty.
To be fair though, even with the week to breathe, we still put out more content before then than both of those shows combined.
That is true, very true.
And what we're about to put out is more than both of those shows combined, including WCW's terrible episode.
So no, our show did not die.
We're just taking the time to breathe.
Exactly, and I want to say we have a target date of starting to release the content by the end of this month, but I don't want to say that and us not be able to do that, so it'll be soon. I will say it will be sometime in the near future, very soon. It won't be like in June. It'll be way before then. So,
although I will say now, if anybody in the chat wants to join PWA, now would be an ideal time, because, as I said, we are recording. So, if you wanted to try and get in on any cards, and maybe we could write you in, then now would be the ideal time.
Exactly. And it would be a great time for a face to emerge in this community, because everybody's a heel nowadays. So
if you asked, once we've recorded, you're gonna have to wait till next month. Whereas now, if you want to be in, now's the best time to get a tryout. Get in.
Exactly. And the thing is, and if you are watching this and you're interested in trying out, we're not looking for you to win or lose the match. We're just looking to see, can you do what needs to be done in a match?
Looking at how you can handle yourself.
Exactly. And we know that in a tryout situation, it's always very tense for the person that's trying out, because they're like, am I messing up? Am I not doing good? Just relax. Take a few breaths. It's just one. And I know my screen is flickering right now, and you guys might be seeing it on the stream, but for some reason, Project 64 for me is very glitchy when they're outside the ring. I don't know why that happens, but it happens. But yeah, so to answer the question, no, our show did not die. The content will be coming out very soon. And in the meantime, we're still going to be releasing house show stuff and maybe like an interview. We're trying to set...
I'm playing a really good game right now.
Ooh, playing it. Ooh, look at this double suplex to Chris Benoit on the outside. Oh my God, he's broken in half.
I'm playing the original Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh. Oh, and our next question here. Go fucking die in a hole.
Dig a hole then.
That's what I'm saying, man. Dig me a hole, man. I'm not gonna dig that shit. That's a lot of work. Remember, I'm really lazy.
If you want me to die so much, I think you should dig me the hole.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, here's a good one. I like this one. This must be from a viewer, because they're asking it from a viewer standpoint. What will be the fallout from the PWA World Championship match?
I will take over and reign supreme.
Well, that's what he thinks. What I think is going to happen is, I think that, I don't want to say a divide is going to happen in PWA, but I think some loyalties are going to be tested maybe. And, we're going to see who's the good guys and who's the bad guys here, because, let's face it, that Twisted guy, he's an asshole. I mean, you saw what he did to Bronson in the match. He attacked him from behind. Only a coward does that, right?
I mean, in my defense, I was asked by Steve Baker to come in from behind, so I'm just doing my job.
Oh, look at that. See? Even Twisted is a grunt. He's doing his job.
Well,
and,
someone has to make you look good
for
your show.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And our next question actually falls in line with PWA Adrenaline, but it was in regard to the Rumble. Why didn't you have Darren T win the Rumble? Instead, you had some old has-been actually and never was win it. LOL. Okay, so apparently people did not like the return of Damian Gamer, and they wanted Darren Trinidad to go the distance. Unfortunately for Darren Trinidad, he always comes up when it counts the most. That's what Steve Baker said right before Breakdown in one of his promos. He said that Darren Trinidad always comes up short when it counts the most. Apparently, that's Darren Trinidad's life story right there. He caves in a big situation. I'll give Trinidad some props, though. I mean, he did last for like an hour and some odd minutes in the Rumble, so he did all right. Do you enjoy 2K16? I think me and Twisted...
No, I fuck hate it.
I was going to say, I think we could say that's unanimously, but yeah, we don't like 2K16.
Dude, give me SPR11 and I would shit on most of this community.
We are basically just going through the motions with 2K16. Like I said earlier, we were doing some stuff, and the game was not cooperating at all.
The problem with it isn't just like everyone's like, oh, it's a service. No, the game is unresponsive at times. Like it legit, like there was times where, like in the match that we were having to do, Die Hard couldn't even pick up the court I was using. Like it was just unresponsive. It did not work. And that's not because of us, it's literally just because of the game being the game.
Exactly. It was like Triple H burying WWE. 2K16. That's what it was doing. It was like, oh, you guys want to have a cool match? Yeah, that's not happening.
Not today, homeboy.
Not today. And then we have another question. When will your shows come out? Like I said, soon. We will keep everybody updated.
I am happy people are asking that because it shows people want to watch it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody thinks that...
And if someone's asking that for, like, when's your show coming out? It's not out yet, is it? You're still wondering about it, aren't you?
Exactly. Let's see. I love PWA and I love FFW. The fact that that you guys do shows on both consoles is truly amazing. I have yet to see another show do the same. Well, we appreciate that. We do. And it's people like you that watch the shows, and the fact that you like both of them, that makes me happy because, I mean, there's a lot of time and additional things that have to go into doing shows. And usually, the person who edits the shows kind of gets, I don't want to say downplayed a little bit, but a lot of the stuff that they have to do goes kind of silently into the night. And I had this discussion with a guy that's the new guy on the PWA roster. I don't want to say who he is yet because I want it to be a surprise when we start showing him on the house shows. But basically, every little tidbit that goes in there, like the zoom in on the pins, the ring announcer thing, when they're coming out to the ring, just the little tidbits like that, syncing up the theme songs with the lighting for their entrances, or when they win, or audio syncing promos with video packages, things like that.
Or cleaning down audios for promos.
Exactly. There's a lot of little tidbits that have to go into that I think people don't realize. It's not as simple as just put video here, commentate. It's not that simple. If it was that simple...
and then cut here and cut here and cut here. If it was that simple, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
If it was that simple, Victor Morgan would never league. Hey!
Ooh. That is true, though. It is very true. Because if it was that... And it's time-consuming, and it takes a lot.
Training, it's very stressful.
Yes, very stressful.
Tiring. Especially, like, what people don't understand. And people can sit there and be like, oh, it's not that hard in other leagues. But, like, dude, when you're of the light that me and Die Hard have, when you're not very liked for whatever reason people don't like you, then it becomes very hard to be motivated to do this shit. Because no matter what anyone says, we're making this show for the community, and it's giving them something to watch. So sometimes I'll see some shit and be like, dude, why do I even make this? Like, what's the point?
You know, and honestly, me and Twisted were almost to that point today. Like, when we were doing that match, we're like, why are we even doing this? You know, but then we took a few moments. You know, we finished up what we had to do to the best of our ability with the game jewing us over. And, you know, we were playing Call of Duty, and while playing Call of Duty, we probably realized we do the show because people apparently wanted something different, and I firmly believe that we give everybody something different with PWA.
And people can do that all they want. Like, you can be one of these people who's been on tons of shows and be like, oh, you're full of shit. But at the end of the day, we make a league because we can. It's fun. And you can say that it's easy to make a league all you want, but if it was easy to make a league, try and do what we do. Try and do a league weekly. Try and do that. See how hard it is. Try and get all the only person in the community that can even get close to that is kind of... Well, I'm not going to say his name, but I think Die Hard knows what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's just, that's it. Like, everyone else says, oh, you guys make it no fun for us. In fact, that's a direct quote from one of the owners of another league. Yeah, well, guess what? You make it not fun for us.
Exactly.
It's not just us. Most of the time we do things of reaction. It's not just us.
And that's the thing. Like,
nothing to do with that.
And this was something.
Blame us.
Well, this was something that we touched on the last podcast with Oscar. But it's okay for people to criticize, like Clark Edwards. You know, it's okay for him to criticize people, or for Koala to criticize. But it's not okay for us to snap back with the criticism. And honestly, if you're going to be a person that wants to criticize, then you need to be open to being criticized. That's just the way it is.
You have to take that shit on the chin.
Exactly. You got to take it right on the chin and be like, can I have some more? And that's kind of what we, like, at this juncture of doing shows, I'm just kind of like, I don't give a flying fuck. I enjoy doing the shows because wrestling is a huge hobby of mine. It's a big passion. I've always enjoyed doing it. And I get to put my own mental, crazy, creative twist on it. You have your own
spin on it.
Exactly. There's nothing more exciting than watching what I do as a viewer. Like, I mean, of course, when I'm editing it, I'm like, yeah, you know, just kind of like droning through it, making sure I'm trying to get the stuff right. But then when I get to sit there and we upload it as unlisted before it goes live for everybody else, and everybody's almost practically pressing play at the same time, because everybody clicks that link at just about the same moment, it's like you get to be so excited because you're getting to watch it as a viewer instead of the guy that had to book it, the guy that had to record it and had to edit it and had to commentate it. You're getting to sit there and be like, man, this was really good. Like, for me, I have collectively watched Adrenaline, PWA's first pay-per-view. I've watched it at least 4 times beginning to end, all the way to the end, to the final little heartbeat, you know, and I was just like, man, that was really good. It wasn't a super long pay-per-view. We know that. We know that it was barely longer than any of our normal shows. We know that. But at the time, it was fitting. And typically, most people in their first showing on a pay-per-view, they have a very clean ending in their main event. We had the dirtiest swerve that could ever happen in the main event. Somebody just coming in and, you know, kicking the shit out of the guy that just won a match, which, you know, with that being Twisted. So it was a very different type of event compared to what I normally would do at a pay-per-view, because typically when I do pay-per-views in an event, it usually goes squeaky clean. There's usually no
twist.
Yeah, there's no twist. Yeah. Twisted. All the puns in the world right there, guys. All the puns in the world. But yeah, usually it goes squeaky clean, and for most cost shows, that is playing it safe. You do the squeaky clean ending, and guess what? Everybody goes home winner. Everybody's happy. But sometimes, to make a nice, tasty omelet, you gotta break a few eggs. And unfortunately, Bronson was full of eggs. So we had to break like a dozen eggs. It happens. We probably slimmed Bronson down from like 319 pounds to like 275. So hey, man, now you can do those kind of normal heavyweight moves instead of like the big fat guy moves. You know.
Not only that, as well, like, oh, what did they do to my moveset? We made you an actual big guy, because you play your big guy like a little guy. You idiot.
Exactly. Oh, here's a good question. I just skimmed over this one. Why do you have beef with Connor Saban?
No one has beef with Connor Saban. Connor Saban has beef with us.
Exactly. Well, I guess here's a little bit of backstory.
What people don't realize was, I saw CWF. I saw their graphics. Their graphics weren't too good. I fucked with CWF just to fuck with them. It wasn't me saying, oh, you know what, you're so bad. You're such a terrible person. Your graphics are so... Like, I was fucking with you, man. I wasn't serious, but you took it serious. That's understandable, because, you know, you put effort into your show, and I get that. But, like, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
You were just yanking your chain.
Yeah, and you took it serious. I don't have beef with Connor Saban. Connor Saban has beef with us. So at that point, we responded in the way he responded.
That is true. I mean, and
so,
like with me, there was
That's neither my fault or his fault.
Right.
I thought I was having a joke. He took it serious. He didn't know I was taking it serious, so it can't really be his fault. But at the same time, shit happens. Get over it. I don't have beef with him.
Exactly.
If anything, he fucked himself over, because I legitimately was going to offer to do graphics for his show. But now he's not going to get them. And I guarantee you now that I said I was going to offer that, suddenly, hey, Twisted, I'm sorry. Hey, Twisted, I'm really sorry.
I think part of it with me and I mean, there might actually be some issue with me and Saban, but it's not really an issue to me, I don't think, because he came onto FFW for some of the recordings in January, and that was pretty much it. I was like, yeah, I really don't need you guys, and it was him and a few of his friends, and they got a little salty on their way out, which is kind of what happens with everybody on their way out. They always get salty about it. So
shout out to Koala.
Exactly. Big shouts out to you, Koala and Mr. Phoenix. But yeah, so we got a little salty about it. It is what it is. No biggie. You know, it's water under the bridge, I guess. Good luck in his future endeavors.
But no, I didn't have a problem with Connor Saban. Connor Saban problem with us. The fact that he's on PS4 now, dude. If he really put his mind to do it, he wanted to do the whole CWF thing. If he just kept bridges unburnt and he just left them be, I'm pretty sure we would have probably allowed him to do the odd match here and there on PWA. He might not have been as very good, but you know, I think we would have been more open to that then than we are now.
Exactly. You know, I mean, now it's just kind of like, I don't know if we really want to do that. And then here's a good one, and I'm assuming this is directed at me, seeing as though I don't think that Twisted and this man were ever really friends. But are you still friends with Nick Virtue? I don't know if we're friends. I mean, we haven't talked in a while. The last time I think me and him exchanged words, it wasn't really negative, but it wasn't.
I think I've spoken to Nick Virtue more recently than.
That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, Twisted has probably talked to Nick more recently than I have. I mean, last time I talked to Nick was shortly after my public ridicule 2 years ago. So, you know.
Nick wants to be in prophecy.
Yeah, and I'm still here. Like, that's the thing. Like,
people. It's mine. Like, I think the reason why he said he wanted to see how it panned out first before he came in, but he was excited for it, and then never worked out because Biff threw his toys out the.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Can you give us any insight into the future plans for your shows? We don't want to spoil anything.
Here's one. Finkelstein has an injury.
Yeah.
And he will not be around for a bit whilst he nurses himself.
Well, for those of you that don't remember, Elijah Endo, when he faced Finkelstein the first time, was on episode 2. Finkelstein got fucked up really bad by Elijah Endo. Endo literally jumped from inside the ring to the outside with his knees on the back of Finkelstein's head. Finkelstein was given a concussion, okay?
And then, in the Bronson match, he injured his ribs.
Exactly. So, I mean, right now, unfortunately, Randy Finkelstein is like Randy Orton. He gets hurt if you just flick him with the wind. And it's because of those.
Pretty much.
It's because of those 1984 Aviators.
I think personally, he's making a bit of a. I don't think he's that hurt.
Yeah, he probably isn't really that hurt. He's probably trying to hit on Elizabeth Sims. That's probably what he's been trying to do. He kept...
I heard he was scared of this Twisted character and he didn't want to be around.
That sounds about right. That Twisted guy, he does got some dog looking face. You know, he's got that little pit bull face. But yeah, so insight into it. Finkelstein is injured. Draven is apparently an alcoholic. Calvin Carter is starstruck. So there's some insight into the shows right there. That's the best we can give you without spoiling anything. So
yeah. And John Lopez is still a jobber.
Yes, John Lopez, the jobber of all jobbers. But you know, when you guys see the February stuff,
Here's a good one. We can confirm there has been a title match rematch from the pick.
Yes,
that is confirmed.
Yes, and we'll announce this one now, because this is I am very excited for it. But it is Jay Tong getting to compete against the newly crowned PWA International Champion Nathan Roberts, and that will be on episode 6 of PWA Live, which I'm thinking we might actually give a name to PWA, like instead of just Live, but Live just has that nice ring to it. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out, but yeah. So on episode 6, Jay Tong versus Nathan Roberts, a rematch for the International Championship. I'm sure it's gonna impress, and I think you guys are gonna like it. So yeah,
we can confirm there's a few new faces coming to PWA for the for the foreseeable future as well.
Exactly, and you guys will start seeing those newer people. Well, you already saw one of them, you saw one of the new faces and one of the kind of newer bad guys. I don't know the future for Jose Mendoza, but Jay Paradise had an impressive showing. So you know, the higher ups are thinking maybe he'll make an appearance on Adrenaline, or not Adrenaline, but on PWA. I don't know why I said Adrenaline, but yeah. So we're going to use the house shows as a way for you guys to get to see some of the new upcoming talent. This way, when they go to the main shows, it's not like, wait, is this a debut? This way, you have a little bit of an idea of who that person is and what they wrestle like beforehand. This way, you almost know what to expect from that person. Like, okay, I know that they're going to be a fast guy, or I know they're a big powerhouse, things like that. So be on the lookout on the PWA channel. We're hoping to get another house show match, at least one match out, either by the end of this weekend or early next week, just to keep you guys interested in the show. And plus, we've got the podcast too, so
it will be good to watch. As long as you know, from a standpoint of, as long as everything goes smoothly, should be fun to watch.
Exactly. You know, as long as the game doesn't always screw with us like it always does. Here's a good one. How do you ignore the haters/drama starters in the community?
I deleted Twitter.
Let's see, that's for Twisted. And my thing is, and Twisted can attest to this, but you grow, the longer you're in the, I hate calling it CAW. I just think that's really stupid.
The longer you're in this community.
Yeah. You grow thick skin, and you learn to, you take things with a grain of salt, even if it's from some of your closest friends, because, like, think of it like this. 2 years ago, me and Twisted would not have been doing the podcast. It would not have happened. It would have been.
I was mentioned on the podcast, but it'd never be on.
Exactly. You know, it never would have happened in the way that it's happening now. I mean, everything can be mended with apologies or things like that. And the thing is me and Twisted, we didn't really apologize to each other. We were like,
no, we kind of just like, yeah, I kind of meant that when I said it, but I'm all good now. So
exactly. You know, water under the bridge.
You want to, you know, get past this, then by all means.
Exactly. And now, like we said last week, you know, we literally play Call of Duty almost every day, unless it's a day where I'm super tired, or he's with his girlfriend, or if
I'm going to do some shit.
Exactly. You know, we're always in contact with each other there. I don't think that there's actually been a day where we haven't been in contact with each other. Nope. And so my thing is, the way that I guess avoid the haters and drama starters is I just kind of, they only exist if you let them exist. You know, they only matter if you let them matter, and that's something that kids get taught in school at a very young age. You know, a problem is only a problem if you let it be a problem. It's not a problem if you don't treat it as such. And so for me, I mean, sometimes, of course, I react, and it's usually if I get irked or irritated.
On DDoS.
Right, and it's only because I'm human. I react like a normal human being, you know, like...
You've also got to understand as well, like, dude, me and Die Hard have been through this thousands of times. This is nothing new.
Exactly, you know, and that
everything people are saying right now, all these different leagues, if this was, like, if this was literally 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I'd have just ran through people right now. But I can't be bothered. And it's nothing to do with me being like, hey, guess what? I don't like this person, so I'm not going to do this. I don't really care anymore. That's the problem. For whatever reason, people don't like the truth. So it's like, okay, well, I don't need to be here. Like, a lot of people think I need core for some reason. I don't need core. I've never needed core. Core needs me, if anything, because everyone needs an antagonist, someone to blame. Think about it. No one ever really... If someone says something, it's always someone posting blame at someone else. There's never someone just like, hey, I did this. It's always, you know what? That Twisted guy, he's a real dick. That's why I don't like him. Maybe it's just because if people thought about why I'm a dick to people, then they might understand it. If they thought, well, he got fucked over in this situation, so he's just reacting. He's angry. Understandable. Then people wouldn't think, okay, he's a dick. But for whatever reason, they do. And I don't need to be on Twitter to see that shit.
Exactly. And I do apologize for that, guys. My wife was calling me, and so she was giving me... The thing is, for those of you that don't know, every time my wife calls me, she gives me a life story. And as many times as I say A to C...
A to B.
Yeah, A to B, just condense. It ends up being A to Z, no matter what. It could be she stubbed her toe, and she tells me the exact millimeter that she stubbed her toe at. So it's just one of those things. But again, like Twisted said, you know, it's to the point, like with me, people can tweet, you know, they can subtweet or whatever. If they want my attention, they need to just send at the 1DH, and then I will respond directly to them. You know, that's just my thing. I'd rather them just say it to me directly instead of subtweeting it about me. So if they subtweet it, it just really doesn't mean that much.
Another thing as well, that's another thing I'm going to get into, because now I'm going to go, well, you two subtweet. No. Half of Twitter watched my Twitter anyway, because they were expecting me to say something. So if you're watching my Twitter and I say something about you, is that really subtweeting? Because I know you're watching my Twitter anyway. I want you to see it. That's why I say your name, so you go, oh wow, he said this about me, and then go and rant about it in your little Skype chats. That's not subtweeting, because you already see it.
Exactly.
Plus, if you don't see it, your friend sees it, and a friend goes and tells you for me, so I don't need to really do anything. So...
That is true. All right, and moving on to our next question here. This might be a short podcast tonight, guys. I have been up all day. I am kind of tired, and it is almost 11 o'clock for Twisted. But this person says, I'm just starting out in simming. Can you give me some tips to get good? And his second part of the question is, can you tell me how to become popular doing this? So we're going to give this in two parts. The first part, can we give him some tips on how to become good? Practice.
No, not even practice. Learn pacing. If you pace, anything you'll do. Because if you can learn pacing, you'll learn how to build up a match. If you can learn how to build up a match, you can learn how to build up combos. If you learn how to build up combos, nothing you'll do will go wrong. So just learn pacing. If you get pacing down, anything you do, as long as it's not like, for example, if you start at the beginning of a match and you do a punch, what's stronger than a punch? A kick. What's stronger than a kick? A strong strike. That doesn't knock someone over? What's stronger than a strong strike that does knock someone over? A suplex, then pin. There's a build-up. There's a gradual progression through those moves. Just learn pacing. If you can pace yourself, then anything you'll do will look okay.
Exactly.
Very much.
And the second part of his question was how to get popular in the community. Don't. That is the answer.
You don't want to get popular in this community. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. If you still want to try after hearing this, then by all means, you try. But As soon as you come into this community, you'll notice it's like a high school. Everyone has their own little cliques. PWA, to a lot of people, PWA has their own little clique.
And that's fine.
Other shows, they have their own little clique, and it's all about trying to fit into a group. And if you fit into one group, then the other groups will dislike you. And if you fit into our group, then those groups will dislike you because you're talking to us. And then you'll never be popular with them because you're automatically stereotyped as someone like us, even though we're just normal people.
Exactly, we're just normal run-of-the-mill people. He lives in the UK and I live in America. Good old America.
So I wouldn't advise getting popular, but if you wanted to, you can do it two ways. You can be loud and you can go in to make a statement, or you can be quiet and get along with everyone. But the quiet route, that's more the route of kissing people's asses. People will have to like you to want you to be around them. The loud route, people will dislike you, but you'll become known and famous. Well, it's not really famous, but people will know you because of what you do, not because of who you're friends with. Like, before I was in PWA, people knew me for what I did, not because, he's the owner of PWA. That's why people dislike me, because people still dislike me from 3 years ago.
Exactly. I have people that dislike me from years ago, years and years.
Even then, it might have been the stupidest thing. I might have went into a match and, I might have beat them and they might have called me a bitch and I might have told them to fuck off and then they still hate me. I called the guy Buddy, right? This one person doesn't like being called Buddy. I didn't know because I don't interact with him that frequently to know that. And I used to call people Buddy all the time. It's like, okay, Buddy, whatever. He found it condescending. He's hated me ever since. And he will find any reason to dislike me. Even though all I did was call him Buddy. Like, I didn't know him. I didn't have a problem with him. So I went, okay, Buddy. That was it. Moved on. And now he hates me. And he's hated me for the past 3 years. So there's no point trying to get popular in this community. Just find a group of people you enjoy to play games with, and find a group of people you enjoy to talk to and be around. Because if you join a league, 9 out of 10 times you're going to be around those people a lot. So try and find a league of people that you enjoy to be around. Don't try and fit into every league. Just try one little group. Just try and make that your little group. Like, for example, most of the PWA people, we all play Call of Duty together. We would play more games if people had more games and wanted to play more games.
That's a jab at me, by the way. I've only got 2 games on my PS4, guys.
It's actually a jab at Rebel. But if you don't know, that wasn't a bad jab. But if you don't know, Rebel only likes to play wrestling and he doesn't feel confident playing anything else. So
and
if
I've only got 2 games.
If people wanted to play more games and had more games, then we'd probably play different ones. But for now, we're just playing Call of Duty and wrestling. We don't just limit it to wrestling. We're all friends. It's like, think of it like, this is why I understand why FAM call themselves a clan, because I never really understood it. Because originally they didn't do clan things back in the day. Clans went against clans. They didn't. But they have a very group mentality. Once you're in with them, it's like joining a family. You are one of them. So it's kind of like, that's what it is with PWA. It's like, if you were to join PWA, for example, well, you'd be one of us. You're down to play games with us whenever you want. You're one of the boys. Exactly. That's what it's like. Just try and find a little group of people that you can
be yourself with. You don't have to put on a fake facade or you don't have to.
Don't get me wrong. There might be days where you might absolutely hate that person that you're talking to, but the day later you might be cool with them. Exactly. That happens. Friends argue. I've had legitimate fist fights with my friends in real life. But am I still friends with them? Yes.
Exactly.
It happens. People fight. People argue. Doesn't mean that you have to over-exaggerate the scenario and make it into this big explosion. You can just be like, okay, I'm going to get off, talk to you tomorrow, then come back. You just need to find a group of people that clicks with you. Not every group will click with you, and there might be a few people from one group that click with you and a few people from another group that click with you. That's fine. Make your own group.
That is true, and that's what we did with PWA. I mean, we knew going in that we weren't going to have a lot of big fans or supporters, and so we were like, you know what? We'll just do our own thing, and luckily we had other guys that wanted to do the same thing as we did. They just wanted to have fun, and that's our main goal and objective with PWA, and that's my goal with FFW, to just have fun, and enjoy what we do,
and that's what originally Prophecy was meant to do, because I did see somebody subtweet about it, about Dick comes into court to make it fun, Dick makes Corum fun. Dude, we came in to make... We were basically giving people that hadn't had a chance, and that was making it fun for us. We wanted it to be fun for us. We wanted to make our own little group of people that we could be a part of without having the drama of anybody else, and to make a league. That's what Prophecy was about. That's what PWA is still about. And at the end of the day, we are still making it fun for us. I don't care if it's not fun for you, because you fucked us over. So you can do what you want, but at the end of the day, we're still having fun. Whether you're not a part of it, or someone else comes in, like the new guy. He's one of the chillest people, and he loves PWA, and from when I've spoke to him, he's a very nice person, and he's welcome to play any games with us. And that was pretty much from the get-go. Joined in when he joined the party to do his tryout, he joined the party with like 6 of us. One of them wasn't even in a league, but we included him in the banter straight away. Because he's now one of us.
Yeah, he's a part of the familia.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's what we mean by fun. We're making it fun for us to be a part of. And we don't give a shit if you don't find it fun outside of it. You're not a part of our little circle. If you like our show, great. I'm fine with that. I appreciate that. But you're not a part of this circle. So if it's not fun for you outside of the circle, I don't care.
And it's unfortunate, because we would love for everybody to feel the fun that we feel, but it'll never happen, because that would be a perfect world. And we know that we're realists, so we know that won't happen. So, of course, when we do have people like the new guy, which, like I said, when you guys find out who he is, we think you're going to like him. I think he's going to go over pretty well with the viewers that watch the show. And so, when we brought him on board, like Twisted said, right into the banter as soon as he hit the party. Like, the first word, I think, out of it was either Twisted or myself, but we were calling Rebel a jobber as this guy was joining the party.
Yeah, because that was,
And by the end of
he enjoyed it.
Exactly, because by the time we all went our separate ways that night, he was laughing. He's laughing right with us, And that's the mentality that we want with everybody that's in PWA. And we want maybe at some juncture we'll do something like maybe to get involved with the viewers. Maybe it'll be a live stream or something, kind of like this, but maybe playing WWE. It's a lot trickier, because I have
maybe we'll just do a big like Call of Duty game with the viewers.
Exactly, and that's the thing. So if you play Call of Duty, obviously my gamer takes the one diehard, and Twisted, he says he's based, whatever that means. God, what does that based mean? But yeah, so we want to have fun with everybody. We want everybody to have fun.
It's all about having fun. So if you're not having fun outside of Prophecy, Prophecy, wow. I said Prophecy before, now I'm thinking Prophecy. If you're not having fun outside of PWA, I don't care.
Exactly. Go find your own friends to go have fun with. Don't try to rain on our parade.
Yeah, you went to that other league, so
yeah.
Go and enjoy your other league.
And before I forget, I want to grab Rick Reich's question in the chat. What is your guys' favorite finishing move, past or present, indie or WWE?
Fuck.
I'm gonna go with...
That's a really good question. That's hard.
There's so many choices, and I know Rick Reich, Rick, I think it might be Rick or Rick, but I know you may think that we had forgotten, or that I didn't see your question, but I have the chat up so I can see the questions. But I would say, my favorite finisher, I'm gonna go with the Gringo Killer, also known as the Vertebreaker. It's such a sick looking move.
Also known as the Cop Killer.
Yeah, yeah, and the cop killer. I'm gonna go with that. I mean, I think it was made famous by
Do I have to
Shane
pick
Helms.
one?
I don't know. He didn't really specify if it was just one that you could pick, but he just says what's your favorite one, or favorite. I mean, I'd assume you could probably pick more than one. You know, maybe one from each promotion.
I mean, no, because like each promotion sometimes do similar finishes.
Right,
But like,
right.
see, my entire life, I've always liked dragon suplexes. I do not know why, but no one really uses it as a finisher anymore. And then with everything that's happened, that like things now, the way people do crazy moves and stuff, I've always liked, like, I've always liked the shooting star press as well, like a really good shooting star press, like a Paul London one, or a Billy Kidman one.
Especially the Billy Kidman one. I mean, that 7-year itch that he would do, that thing was just, it was amazing. Like the way he torqued his body when he did it, it looked really, really good.
But it's hard to say like this one's my favorite. I know if Rebel would say it, probably say the pedigree or like, you know, a spear or something because he's a Goldberg mark.
Well, I guess if I was to say one of my favorite finishing maneuvers, I would probably say the Tiger Driver 91.
See, I've always liked Tiger Bombs too.
And the Tiger Bomb, like the fact like that, or even the legitimate burning hammer. Not this watered down type stuff that we get in video games or we see on TV now.
I've always liked, you know, fucking what you call it, like cycle drivers and stuff like that. But I don't know. I love German suplexes. That's what I think. I think people should use Germans more as a finisher more often because it's fucking sick.
And the thing is especially like
dude,
nowadays.
If I watch like UFC and someone does a German, I'm like, oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and nowadays, especially with how protective professional wrestling has to be, because you know years ago a Tiger Driver 91 completely unprotected on the neck. There was no protection whatsoever. You think when Stone Cold got they call it an inverted tombstone. They called it an inverted tombstone, but it's actually just a front face sit out pile driver is all it is. But when Owen did that, Austin's head was just sitting too low. If he had just been up just a little bit, he would have been all right. But because
another one, I've always liked pile drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
And Jerry Lawler does an amazing pile driver. We don't get to see his pile driver frequently enough, but if any of you have ever seen any of his old wrestling footage back when he had his beard or his goatee and everything, like, he's really good at delivering a believable pile driver. It's a true gift to not injure somebody doing moves like that drop somebody, you know, almost directly on their head, neck, and shoulders.
Again, though, I'm not really one of those people that I'm saying all these moves that I like, but I don't like I don't mind swantons, but I wouldn't exactly, you know, like, oh, that's my favorite one. Like, I'm not a mark for big moves.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong, the pedigree, it's all right. But ideally, it's just a double underhook suplex, but instead of doing the suplex animation, you're just dropping down.
It's a double underhook face buster.
Exactly, you're just dropping down onto your knees. And I mean, don't get me wrong. The old way that Triple H used to do the pedigree, he made that thing look sick.
When he spiked you.
It would look sick. But then people were complaining because they would break their nose or they'd hurt their face. They would hurt their money maker, so then all of a sudden Triple H started putting their head way up into his crotch instead of down by his knees to protect their money makers, and it's just one of those things, you know. It's just kind of, you have to change with the times. So for retro finishers, if we were going like basic wrestling maneuvers, I would say Jake the Snake's DDT was very, very effective.
Yeah, I do like Jake's DDT. I like Jake's DDT, but I also like DDP's cutter.
Yes, and the thing is, a lot of people, you know, I remember I heard this argument. Somebody was saying that Randy Orton invented the cutter, and I was like, no, because when the first time I saw the cutter happen was actually, it was by Triple H when he was wrestling as Hunter Hearst.
Was it Terrorizing?
No, because it was right as he got signed to WWF at the time, so he would have been Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But when he came in, I don't think it was his debut. I think it was like his second or third match in, but he did. It wasn't as fluid and clean as what DDP's was, but he did it, and DDP had talked about it in an interview. He's like, yeah, I called him up, and I was like, hey bro, that was my finisher, and Triple H said he wouldn't use it no more, which was cool, But so just think, we could live in a world where Triple H was doing the diamond cutter instead of the pedigree.
I don't know. That's a really hard question to answer.
Exactly.
Because I can't just pick one.
There's so many. Almost every finisher, and I say almost every finisher because there's some finishers that are just wonky and don't look like they should be a finisher at all. But every finisher usually has a good place and time for it.
You gotta understand that as well. Like, various people do the same finisher. So, for example, think of a frog splash, right? Mm-hmm. RVD's frog splash is different to Eddie Guerrero's, but I prefer Eddie Guerrero's.
Exactly. And it's about the way that the character portrays that specific maneuver. Another good example, throughout time, there's been numerous wrestlers that do different variations of power bombs. For a while, The Undertaker did the last rider bomb. I mean, he still uses it.
Kane used to do the Fallout power bomb where he used to lie down. I wish that was still in the game. I love that move.
It was one of my favorite moves in the older SmackDown games. And and my thing is, like, a lot of people are like, oh well, Kevin Nash's jackknife was amazing. No, it wasn't.
Kevin Nash's jackknife was lazy.
Exactly. It was just him being a dick. He was wrestling doing power bombs. He's like, you know what? I'm not even going to pick you up all the way. You're going to have to do an ass backwards flip so that you don't break your neck. Literally. No, nothing against Kevin Nash. I mean, he's a strong, big guy, but I'm just saying he's a lazy mofo when it comes to wrestling.
I would say I hate the 619.
I hate it.
I used to like it when I was a kid because, like, oh yeah, that's cool. But don't get me wrong, when I liked it when he was a kid was when he didn't fucking follow it up with the fucking senton or that terrible splash that he does.
Exactly.
And he used to do it around the ring post. That was sick. But I hate it now.
And another move that gets downplayed a lot, and I think part of it was because Tommy Dreamer, when he went to WWE, Dreamer Driver.
Yeah, the Death Driver.
Yeah, the Death Valley Driver. That.
Yeah, I love that move.
And I think in large part it got watered down because Godfather started using it.
No, I think it got watered down because it basically is just a spinning FU.
Right, exactly. But I think because at the time when Dreamer was doing his, it literally was looking like he was dropping them after doing the spin.
Tell you what, here's one I like. I'll settle on this one for now because I watched it recently in PWA. I love to death because it actually looks like it would fuck you up. Most of his moves do, but I fucking love Super Dragon's curb stomp.
Yes.
Not only that, I fucking loved it. Wow, that was loud. I loved it when he did it to Candice LeRae and he curb stomped her head to the bottom turnbuckle. That was fucking brutal. I'll go with that one for now because that's recent, but I don't know. I mean, WWE wise, I don't know. Super kick, probably.
I guess it depends. It depends on the super kick.
Like a good Shawn Michaels super kick. A line salt.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
The line salt. That's why I have it on nearly every one of my characters. Deadlift German, good one.
But yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty vague question, Rick, about the finishing move, past or present.
But I will say this, then I will rebound that question. What's one finisher that you hate to death? Cannot hate it, every bit of it. Hate watching it, hate seeing it. Don't get me wrong, Rey Mysterio can do the odd 619. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like in a Royal Rumble or something, but I don't like it. But if there was one I had to hate, like really, really hate, I fucking hated Tensai's little mist hand thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss the old A-Train derailer that he used to do.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate I fucking hate Zack Ryder's leg lariat.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't just toss him off when he get him. I mean, I would just.
Yeah, like I don't like. Don't get me wrong. I like his leg lariat. The move is fine, but the fact that he taunts before it and they just kind of dizzy there, it's like, dude, just fucking grab his leg and pull him off that same vocal.
Exactly. You know, and that's kind of the thing. Like it's such a broad spectrum of maneuvers. You know, and especially since you're saying WWE or indie, that's a very, very broad spectrum of maneuvers. I mean, of course, every move is based off of some variation of another move, but
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And this is gonna be kind of weird because I have spoke to him briefly, but Ricochet, I'm not. Ricochet was cool at first, but most of his moves are no selling a move before it because he combos it. So, like for example, the Northern Lights into a Brainbuster. That's cool. Shows a ton of strength on his behalf, but that Northern Lights is completely pointless because he's not going for pin. Doesn't the guy taking it doesn't look hurt because he doesn't have a chance to, and then he gets Brainbuster which is stronger anyway, so it doesn't make sense. So I don't know.
Exactly. But as you're seeing here, Triple H is going to get put by Kane. This is like the Triple H, Katie Vick, Kane storyline right here. And Kane beat the game. Do you see that on the stream? Kane beat the game with my screen flicker. But yeah, I would.
Move that you really hate. There's tons.
Yeah, there's tons of moves I think that are really stupid. Another good finisher that was never utilized, I don't think to its fullest potential, was the buzzsaw kick. I love it.
No, there's my favorite finisher. Back in the day, when Shannon Moore and Hurricane didn't use it as a finisher, but I fucking loved the Shining Wizard when it was did properly. Not the AJ Lee Shining Wizard, which looked shitty. The proper Shining Wizard that, like, when they kicked, they slapped their leg and they actually sold it like their face went sideways. Like, that was sick. I used to love the Shining Wizard.
Exactly.
To the point where when I was a kid and we used to have a big trampoline in my back garden and we used to wrestle, that was my finisher. And I legitimately did clock a few people with my shin sometimes. Like, that was sick. I loved the Shining Wizard. I wish someone would bring it back and do it and actually give it justice and actually have it look painful. Because, like, AJ Lee got shit on it.
Well, like, back in my backyard wrestling time, believe it or not, I did the flatliner as my finisher. That was my finishing maneuver, the flatliner. Because I've always been a relatively small guy, and when we were doing the backyard wrestling stuff, all my friends were bigger than me. And I was like, I can't really lift these guys. I was like, so I'm just going to I'm going to lock them up in a vice and just plant them on their face. And
I like a good Liger bomb as well. Can't go wrong with a Liger bomb.
That is very true.
But I will tell you now, doing a Liger bomb, dude, that fucking hurts.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
when you sit out and push them down, you have to like push your legs out. If you push your legs out too far, you get you can pull your groin so easily.
Okay, so Rick Rikers here is either the Steiner screwdriver or the Bloody Sunday. I didn't even think of the Steiner screwdriver. I mean, I don't think
his favorite or one that he hates.
It looks like it was his favorite, but I don't think.
Screwdriver is good.
Yeah, I don't think Steiner really used the screwdriver though as his finish. I think it was his signature because then he'd either tag in Rick or else I believe he'd go for the camel clutch.
The recliner, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean he might have actually won matches with that.
The one I don't like, the Bloody Sunday, I'm not a big fan of. It's just an inverted DDT. I preferred his butterfly. Well, it's just a DDT, a big DDT, but it's basically a butterfly brainbuster. I loved that. That was sick. But that's why Twisted has it as his signature. But you know.
But yeah, so I mean, it's just, I mean, of course, everybody's got it's Richie Rich, like the film. Okay, so his name is Richie Rich. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up for us. I will make sure not to say the wrong way. So Richie Rich.
I mean, I would go as far as saying, like, I love the Regalplex. That's another one. That would be very hard to not like.
Yeah, the Regalplex, I don't think it gets enough showing for what it is. And we're not talking about the Regal Cutter. We're talking about the Regalplex. You know, the half-hatch back suplex where basically your opponent is going down with a free fall onto the back of their neck and shoulders. And the thing is, somebody like William Regal, very aggressive in the ring, a very, very, very underrated wrestler, but very, very aggressive, a true in-ring tactician, if you will. And amazingly, I think he was able to do it without hurting people, which by today's standards, they probably wouldn't allow him to do if he was young enough, I don't think they'd allow him to do the Regal Plex, but it's a very amazingly sick-looking move, and that's why I have it on Die Hard, because it looks very impactful. Whether you do the pin combo with it or if you just let it, hit naturally, it looks impactful even in the game, which I think that's a move that they captured very well.
I would say that the capture suplex is another one. Obviously, Rick Rude's neck breakers. I was never really a big fan of the stunner.
I've always wondered. I mean, I get it. Like, you're going, like, it's their full body weight going down, but he only really has one hand over the back of your neck and the other one over your, the top of your skull. So, I mean, you could easily just kind of do, like, a whiplash effect and pull your head up, and get out of it, in my opinion. I mean, we know that wrestling is telling a story and, things like that, but I'm just saying, in a realistic environment, you could literally, when he's going to do that, he kicks you in the abdomen, he goes to hit the stunner, you could just stand up and he would fall on his ass.
One of the things too, like, I like some people can do a really good one, but I'm not a big fan of the tombstone. If it's a spiked tombstone where the person taking it really sells it and makes it look fucking sick, then yeah, I like it. But if it's a really slow, kind of drawn out tombstone, it's like,
Exactly, and that's one of those things that it's all about the person giving it and receiving it, because certain moves, they work really good with two certain individuals, but then you could put two other individuals doing that exact same move and it'll just look like a hot mess. And it's a large fault is because some people are just really good at taking moves and making them look very impactful, and some people are really good at making the move look impactful by performing it. A good example, nothing against Dolph Ziggler, but Billy Gunn, the Fameasser. When Billy Gunn did it, it looked like he was literally putting your head in a figure four, because he would force your head up by his knees, and it looked like he was putting your head in a figure four and then slamming you to the mat. But when Dolph Ziggler would do it, it would just kind of look like the John Cena leg drop to the back of the head from the top rope.
Yeah.
And it was just, I mean, it's got the impact to it, but it's just not as good, and it's just one of those things,
I always, hated D'Lo Brown's leg drop. And I don't mean the one off the table.
What you gonna do about it?
I mean the one where he stands up, shakes his head, puts his arm out, then does a leg drop. Which, by the way, Big Bronson did, and it made no sense. Like, a guy that weight dropping all of his weight onto a guy's throat. Yeah, that should be over. That shouldn't be, okay, he's gonna kick out at 2.
Exactly.
So, but then again, there's a lot, there's tons of moves. There's worse moves in wrestling that I obviously really don't like, and there's moves that I do like, but right now I can't think of any.
Exactly, and
it would be like asking, well, what's your favorite theme song? Well, that's far too many.
My favorite theme song is Die Hard's theme song. I'm just saying.
My favorite theme song has to be the LOD 2000 theme.
See,
because that's their best theme.
I mean, it's good, but I don't know.
Out with the old 80s one, compared to that one, and compared to the one that then Heidenreich and Minimal used, that's their best one.
Like, I liked the tone that the Heidenreich one had. Like, it had a very modern feel to it, but I gotta agree.
That is the same one. In fact, that is the same one. LOD 2000 was the same one.
Oh, yeah, it was. I was gonna say, I mean, I guess the nostalgia in me wants to say the original LOD theme, but
I like the original one, but I prefer the 2000 one.
Right, obviously.
It's like saying, well, there's Billy Kidman's theme song that's always gonna be up there with people.
That is true, like Rebel.
But then Ty Jerry's one is amazing.
Or Tie and Tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even what you call it? Who had? Oh I can't think of his name now.
Hardcore
I
Holly?
can think. Hardcore Hollies was annoying.
I loved Hardcore Hollies, or Crash Hollies when they were the Hollies. I loved their theme song.
I loved Crash Holly in general.
He was good.
But no, what the... Steve Blackman had
Yes.
an amazing theme.
He had two very good themes. His first theme, not a lot of people knew about because they didn't really market Steve Blackman the right way at first, and then when he became the Lethal Weapon Steve Blackman, he had the drums in the night theme song with just the Takio drums, which was really cool. But his first theme song was called Ground Shaker, and that one was used in if you ever played WWF Attitude on the Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation 1,
I have the problem with that.
Yeah, it was his theme song in the game. It was the Ground Shaker one.
I used to really, 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 really hate China's theme song, but as I've grown older, it's kind of just humorous now.
Yeah. Don't treat me like a woman, don't treat me like a man.
Yeah. Triple H's theme when he came back, the one that the not Time to Play the Game, the one.
The one right before that.
Yeah, the one that goes 1 cent is this song?
Oh yeah, My Time.
Yeah, couldn't think of it. Rebel's favorite one. Yeah, that's a good one. Goldberg's is obviously a good one because it just had... Goldberg was such a shit wrestler, and Rebel will dislike me for saying that, but it is. But his theme had such an atmosphere to it. It added to the atmosphere of the match. It was like, oh fuck.
Exactly, you know.
No one else came out to stuff like that. RVD's original, well, not original. RVD's theme, the one of a kind.
Yep.
Hey, that's a good theme.
There's so many good theme songs, and like with Triple H, a lot of his theme songs were a progression of a base model of his theme song. Like one of the Higher Brain Pattern theme song that Triple H had when he was corporate Triple H before he did the My Time thing was a very early version of what became of Play the Game. It's got the same kind of chord progression, and kind of like with the Rock's theme song. The first time you hear what could be construed as the Rock's current theme music would be the Nation of Domination rock.
Yeah.
And you hear it in the, you know, it's all like dun 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 dun, but you hear it like in a kind of twangy kind of guitar instead of
One thing I will say, a theme song that I liked nowadays, which is relevant. I don't like his theme now, which they have in the game.
Yeah.
But I really, really like the theme that Samoa Joe debuted with, because I love the bass in it. The do 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 do. I love that so much. And then they took it away from me. I was like, well, fuck you, son of a bitch. Like, I used to beatbox that when it used to come on. I was like, yeah, this is sick. And then it was like, now just brass and sounds trappy. Okay. What else? I used to hate Eddie Guerrero's
Viva la Raza, or I'm your
like
papi.
I didn't like his Latino heat.
Latino.
But then when I got old, when I got old. When I became older, as a kid I hated it, but then when it started to go Latino, I used to love it.
Oh yeah.
Now, but when I'm older, sorry, I got that wrong. I used to hate it, but now as I'm older, I love it.
Exactly.
But then he had his what was it? Viva la Raza, dun 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 dun. I used to love that one.
But all right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for joining us for this hour-and-a-half podcast that we did, and tune in next week, of course, because it'll be another podcast. Hopefully, we can get a couple other people on here with us. You know.
Yeah, and if you want to try out, if anyone wants to try out, remember, just try and get a tryout. Either hit me up on PlayStation, Base Twisted, hit Dialed Up, which is the 1DH, hit him up on Skype, the 1DH, fucking message me, put a comment on my YouTube if need be. Yeah. Either way, we'll see it and we'll get you a tryout. And if you're good, you're good, and then you can be in. If you're bad, then don't get mad. But it just isn't for you.
That was nice, very nice. If you're bad, don't get mad. But alright, guys, so thanks for tuning in. I've been Die Hard.
I've been Twisted. Sorry for the delay there. I was waiting for him to continue.
And we will catch you guys later.